Hello everybody and welcome to Waffle Flower Crafts. It's Shannon here, and in today's technique video I'll be showing you a really simple technique that makes great use of your more solid stamps. I'm going to be using these Waffle Flower products today. First up is the morning stamp set. This just came out in Waffle Flower's Valentine's Day release. It's a very beautiful set. It was illustrated by Flora Waycott. I'm also going to be using the Plaid Play stamp set to make a background, and I'll finish my card up with a sentiment. I'm going to use that hello from the Flower Circle stamp set. I've already cut and folded my A2 card base. This is made from 110-pound white cardstock. This is actually going to be a single layer card. I'm going to position it here in my MISTI. I am going to use the creative corners here to help ensure that my card base is perfectly perpendicular to the base of the MISTI, and that'll make sure this will help to make sure that my stripes are nice and straight. I'm going to be using the Plaid Play stamp set, which is right on the right there, to create my rainbow background. I'm using the second largest solid stamp from the Plaid Play stamp set. I'm going to almost center it here. I will grab a ruler real quick to help me make sure I'm nice and center. The ruler, or I want to make sure if I'm centered, that way I can make sure that I have the equal amount of white space gap on both the right and left side. So I'm finding center, and this is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base, so center is 2 3/4. And I'm actually, like I was saying before, I'm not actually right on center. I'm going just above it because I have a even number of colors, Waffle Flower ink colors selected here. If I had an odd number of colors in my rainbow, I would center that stamp directly over the center point. So there are my colors. I've got them arranged in a nice long row, and this is just going to help to make sure I don't make any mistakes when I stamp with the order. I'm starting with my middle color because I'm actually going to start in the middle here of my rainbow. So I'm starting with a yellow. This is called You Said What. Just going to ink up this stamp and stamp it down, and then I will slide my card base up about like a 1/2 inch, about, you know, the thickness, really it's the thickness of the stamp, and then I will check by looking through the stamp just to make sure that the stamp is overlapping the previously stamped stripe just a hair, that way to make sure I don't have any white gaps in between my stripes. And I will continue this process as I make my way through each one of the colors of the rainbow. I'm gonna just stamp this first right half of the rainbow, and then I will rotate my card base around and I will stamp the left half of my rainbow. So I'm just going to keep working my way through all my Waffle Flower ink colors here. I do stamp some of these stripes twice, which is nice. You're able to do that very easily when you use a stamp positioning tool like a MISTI. Not necessary though. My first card that I made with this idea, I did it just with an acrylic block. So sometimes, like right here, the magnet got in the way, but it is nice that I can just stamp it again, thanks to the MISTI. I did stamp, the end of my rainbow is actually that purple color, and I did stamp one step further and went back to the other end because I decided I have 8 colors selected, but I decided I wanted to add one more stripe on either end of this rainbow just to make it a little bit bigger. So I did stamp, I went to the last color on the left side of the rainbow, which is my pink, and I just stamped that at the back. So think of your rainbow kind of like a circle or a loop, and you can go around and around. So now I flipped my card base around, and now I'm stamping the left half of my rainbow, and I am sliding my paper up again with each new stripe that I stamp. And I'm almost finishing up here. I just have, I'm going to stamp one extra color, just like I said before, just so I have 10 stripes in totals instead of 8. So there, my rainbow is completely stamped. Now I'm ready to move on to stamping some of the image. This is the morning stamp set. This just came out in Waffle Flower's Valentine's Day release. It's a beautiful stamp set, but the images are more solid, and this can be some people can struggle, especially if they're very used to coloring all the time, with what to do with these. But these more solid stamps are some of my most favorite stamp sets. They are great stamp sets for making quick cards and without a lot of fuss. And I really love the images, and there's so many techniques and so many great card designs you could only do with these more solid stamps, especially like this silhouette idea. So the whole idea behind this card is kind of like a black silhouette, and it's really popping against this very colorful background, this rainbow stripe background. So I'm just inking up to, you know, make that silhouette look. I'm just inking up these images from the morning stamp set in a black ink. I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black, which is a really nice black pigment ink, and it stamps beautifully. I don't even have to worry about stamping twice usually with my VersaFine, so I really love stamping with this ink. And I'm just creating this little scene, this little shelf scene with the images from the morning stamp set. Very easy to do. You definitely could do this idea with your more linear stamp sets. You don't have to do just solid, but you will want to color in those linear sets with a black coloring medium, either a marker or watercolor, if you want to really create that kind of silhouette look. And I'm going to almost finish it up here. I'm going to stamp this mirror. This is where my sentiment's going to go. It's going to go inside the mirror. I'm going to use the sentiment from the Flower Circles stamp set. Therese made a card, and she combined this sentiment and this mirror image, and I thought it was just so beautiful that I just had to do it myself. I'm going to do a little quick mask here. This is a flower. or the stem of a flower. I'm masking off the lower portion so I don't stamp into that beautiful little leaf image in this vase. Stamping it, and then stamping the flower that goes at the top of the stem. And this is done. You see how quick it is and easy it is to make cards with these solid stamps. That's another reason why I just love them. So I'm going to add a little bit of accents here with a Jelly Roll white gel pen. I'm going to just kind of make some like highlights on the, like the bowl and this jar and the cotton balls inside the jar. And I will also add a shadow behind the sentiment, which is very easy to do. I love to add this shadow behind really bold, chunky sentiments I love to do it with a white gel pen. It just really makes the sentiment pop and look really three-dimensional. I'm putting it on the left, to the left, and lower, just below the sentiment. So not above it, just the bottom, the base of the sentiment, and to the left of the letters is where my shadow, I'm kind of putting my little white gel pen shadow. And again, this just makes it pop. None of this is necessary. It really, truly, I think the card is just beautiful with just these black silhouettes of these images. And there you go. It's all done. I hope you guys enjoyed my video today. If you want any more information on the products I use, please visit waffleflower.com, and you can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for more creative ideas. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.